Hello and welcome to Let Me Be Your Game Guide, a podcast that spends each episode delving into a mystical new video game, exploring its charms and challenges, and helping you decide if it should be next on your list. I'm your host, Emma.
This is Rylan.
I'm just going to be normal and say this is Shawn.
Join us for this week's rating episode as we escape reality and enter the metaphysical. For the remainder of this episode, let me be your game guide.
It feels like a failure, but I've been thinking about this. I talked to Rylan about this. I don't know if I can continue doing my funny intros.
That's okay. You can just do it when you're feeling it.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna-
a little sprinkle. Yeah. Okay.
Do you want me to read this again, or would you?
No. I didn't even have anything to come up with. But I was thinking about it earlier this week and talked to Rylan. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, if we do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds more episodes, I can't keep coming up with a new thing every time.
No pressure.
Okay. It's all good.
So do we continue with starting the podcast, or do we talk some more a little bit first?
Normally we have a conversation that kind of fills in and then we kind of just start the podcast normally.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so
but we cut Shawn off and said we need to reread the last sentence because you talked too early.
Yeah.
And now here we are.
Sorry, everybody.
here we are wondering if there's a Mega Cooper or just Mini Coopers.
Oh, yeah.
Or just,
Or is there's a Cooper?
I
Yeah.
saw a Cooper with 4 doors. Is that a Cooper?
a regular Cooper? We're talking about cars, you guys.
Yeah. I don't know.
I used to work with somebody named Cooper.
Oh.
Was he regular?
He was pretty down to earth. Yeah, I think he was like kind of a skater guy. He liked to go hiking. He came to work with a beanie one day and he said he found that beanie while hiking.
Oh.
That's a real Cooper thing to do, I think. Yeah.
Cooper is a barrel maker.
Whoa.
Is where the name comes from.
Oh.
And I don't remember why. Yeah, like a barrel maker.
The name means barrel maker?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
that's
That's
he
the
does?
profession
Oh.
is barrel maker.
I thought you were saying your friend Cooper made barrels, and I was like, that's
No.
cool.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was
No.
like, dang, that's pretty sweet.
I don't know if I'd call him my friend. I did get his number when he stopped working there, but we've never communicated. So
Maybe you should text him right now on the podcast.
Okay. I think he saved my phone as Stormtrooper Cooper, and I don't remember why. This is going to be really awkward. This is beyond the normal level of nonsense.
Yeah, now we're going above and beyond.
I'm
Now
sorry.
I don't
just
even know how to
this
use my
refuse-
phone.
I just refuse to get right into the podcast.
No, that's okay.
Hold on. I'm going into my contacts.
I should probably clear up my contacts a little bit because there's definitely some folks I'm like, I haven't spoken to you in 15 years.
Yeah, I've had the same phone number like my whole life. So
That's why I deleted Facebook, because I was like, I was friends with so many people from high school that I just never even talked to. And I was like, well, I can safely unfriend you now. And then they refriended me. And I was like, wait.
No.
And I deleted Facebook.
Yeah.
I also have things in my phone that's just like Michael. I'm like, who's that?
Yeah.
Not even a last initial.
Could be anyone.
Man.
Michael, if you're out there, I'm sorry. I'm not going to text you.
Well, we're talking about TOEM today.
Yeah, this is what.
This is a video game podcast. But yeah, this is a rating episode. We are talking about the adventure game TOEM. It's TOEM. This was my pick.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was lovely, but I won't spoil too much because we're going to talk about our feelings about this. But before we get into the episode, don't forget to give the podcast a follow, rate it, review it, however you want to show us love. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/letmebeyourgg, where you can view episodes early as they post sometime on Sunday, a couple days before the episode posts everywhere else. You can also find us on most socials as Let Me Be Your GG. That's on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And you can find us on TikTok as Let Me Be Your Game Guide with no spaces. You can also email us at letmebeyourgg@gmail.com. This is the best way to send in game requests. Just make sure to include game request in the subject line so it's easy for us to find. And I forgot to do my thing where I spell out LETMEBEYOURGG with no spaces.
That's your thing.
But check out our TikTok, because Rylan has been making some great
They're so funny.
TikToks. I don't know what they're going to be like by the time this releases.
The quality's going to have descended so much.
No,
What?
no,
You think
no,
so?
no.
Look, I made 2 great TikToks for Figment, and I now have the pressures on.
Well, I believe in you.
Yeah, I think you got it, man.
Yeah.
You got a skill for the TikToks.
That's what everybody's telling me.
Yeah. Just be true to yourself. Do your thing.
Yeah. And then we got
Okay.
Shawn. He's taking over the Twitter. The
Yep.
X.
The X, the tweets. The tweets are out. So come check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be great. We're still streaming on the weekends.
That's right.
Yeah. Rylan, what do you think you'll be streaming 3 weeks from
Currently,
now?
okay, so I think I might actually be streaming the Thaumaturge still.
Still? You want to keep playing?
Well, so I streamed once and it's really fun. And I was like, I'm just going to do it the one time, just show it off, on the stream, and then I'll play it on my time. I don't have any time. So I think I'm just going to keep playing it for the podcast.
Cool.
Or for the stream, on Saturday mornings.
Sweet. Yeah.
Cool.
So 8 a.m. Saturday morning, if you're a morning person, check out Rylan's stream. I don't know what I will be streaming because we're recording this. This is going to come out like 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could be doing anything. I pulled an Audible and played Figment 2. This will have been like a month ago. But to me right now, it was last week. It was great. So who knows? I have no idea.
Yeah, so coming off of our last episodes, which were Figment.
Yes.
If you're interested in that, you can also watch Emma play Figment 2 on YouTube at this point.
Yeah.
So those were, I saw your second out of two, only two sessions, but I saw the second one. It was very fun to watch.
Yes. And if you're wondering which one is the best, I would say the first half is actually the most entertaining.
And that's wild to me because I was watching you play the second one and I was like, wow, I think I would have liked this game like a decent amount more than the first one.
I do really think that you would have liked this second one a lot more. The mechanics were more broad. There was a lot more stuff going on content wise. So
yeah, I popped in on the first half and it was really good. A lot better than the first one. I think so.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. So you can check that out. But let's get into the episode.
Yeah.
We're talking about TOEM, and like I said, this is a adventure game. I would say I don't know how to like a 3-dimensional adventure game where you're a mouse. Are you a little mouse?
Oh, is that what you are?
I don't know. I couldn't figure out what animal we were.
Me neither.
Yeah,
but
I didn't know.
You're running around. You're taking pictures. You're helping people. You're meeting nice animals. It's just like. It's very cozy.
It's so charming.
Yes. Yeah. It's all black and white. Yeah. Just super great. Super mellow. But let's get into the developers before we get into our ratings.
Tell me about them.
TOEM was developed and published by Something We Made. They were founded in 2018. And real quick, just about the game, it's available on PC, Mac, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. It was originally released September 17th, 2021, and you can get it for $19.99 everywhere except for PlayStation, where it's $22.99.
Weird.
I know.
Sorry, did you say that it's on the Switch?
I think it did come onto the Switch.
Okay, good.
Not during the original release, I don't think, but maybe, I'm not sure. But it's available now. So, but the developers, I will make sure that their webpage is linked in our show notes. I'm going to read the list of people that were involved in this game, and they're involved. There's a TOEM 2 coming out, which I'm stoked about. And usually I'll put the official game credits in the show notes as well. But on their website, they did the thing where they give themselves kind of like funny titles, and I thought that would be more fun to read. So Lucas Golbo, he's the Goblin director.
Oh,
also one of the founders. Nicholas Mikkelsen is the Human Labrador CEO. The other founder.
Nice. Yeah.
They founded it together. Elias Albrecht is Curly Boy. Marcus
you gotta have a curly.
Marcus Nelson is Snusmurmrick. I don't know what that means, but
I don't know if you can say that on a podcast.
what if it was something bad? I just didn't know.
You're explicit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Tom Gerbo is senior lead intern. And then this wasn't on their webpage, but this is who was the composers for the music, was Jamal Green and Launchable Socks. We'll talk about them probably a little bit when we get into the music section.
Is that launchable socks or lunchable socks?
Launchable.
Oh.
There is an accessibility report that will be linked in our show notes if that's something that you need to consider. Yet again, we found it on the Family Gaming Database.
They rock.
Yep.
They do rock.
Most of the time they have the accessibility report that I need, which is great because then I don't have to guess and make one. But now what we've all been rating for.
Thank you.
I think a piece of me dies every time
I can say it.
Every time you say it, you're like,
I'm not a pun person. Maybe, yeah, Rylan, you can start saying it from now on if you'd like.
And now what you've all been rating for.
I think it sounds better when you say it anyways.
Ooh,
oh.
Man, I like that.
That's another thing I'm good at.
Nice.
TikToks and
puns.
One sentence.
You got it.
That sounds mean. I'm
what
sorry.
What if you guys had me sitting here for the podcast for the whole time just to say that sentence?
Then you're silent.
I try to say something else and you're like, shh, 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 shh.
Yeah, no, Rylan.
Your mic's not actually on. Okay,
That sucks. I'm here for hours.
Let's get into our game rating. We take into account general considerations such as length, challenge rating, and replayability. We also consider story and narrative topics, including plot, characters, and world building, presentation topics, including graphics and sound design and music, gameplay topics, including content variety and mechanics, and lastly, we consider the overall value of the game. So, as always, we're going to start with general considerations, and the first section is length.
Okay, so I played TOEM for about 4.5 hours, I would say. That seems safe.
Nice.
So my Steam account again says 1 day and 20 something hours or something like that, and that's not right. So
it's okay.
Shawn
It takes time.
loved it.
yeah, I need to stopwatch it, I think. Yeah, because I always do that. So yeah.
I would say it took me around 4.5, 5 hours.
I have 5.5 hours. That includes the, like, after you beat the game, there's like another level.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a post part of the game. That
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
kind of
really-
like free DLC they released. So it only took me 3.7 hours to play through the first time, and then another, hour and a half-ish. So
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in our episode next week.
Yep.
I think we'll kind of discuss that because there are a little in that extra DLC. There's some more, I don't know, mechanics, I guess, or I don't know.
Yeah.
There's more stuff that you didn't get to do in the original game. So, challenge rating. Our scale, I always forget to do this. I always forget to tell people what our scale is. But our challenge rating score, we have, it's starting at beginner, then it escalates to easy, moderate, difficult, and it tops out at expert. What do you guys think the challenge rating is?
I think I would say that this would be a beginner difficulty. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. It isn't like an adventure, like puzzle, but with quotations. It's like puzzle, but the puzzles aren't really that hard. It's pretty straightforward how to figure out a majority of them. So yeah, I would say beginner level.
Yeah, I agree. I also said beginner. The puzzles weren't that hard, but there were a few that got me. Or like they didn't even get me, but like I knew what I was looking for, but I couldn't find it. Or yeah. So I liked that there was a little bit of challenge, but it was still in my mind kind of stayed in that beginner category.
Yeah, like I kind of bumped it like almost up to easy.
Yeah.
For like the same reasons. Like I think pretty much everything was like just so relaxingly simple. And I say relaxingly simple as in not in a bad way. It wasn't boring. It was not boring.
I have a difference of opinion.
That's fine.
Okay.
Wow, is Shawn gonna have a strong opinion about a game?
I have a strong opinion about this game.
Whoa.
Yeah.
4 hours of sleep, Shawn has a strong opinion.
That's
about
right.
Let's go.
Yeah. You start weeding down that filter, things start coming out.
Yeah. But yes, some of the like, I guess they're puzzles or the tasks were less straightforward than others. And some of them I felt like were a little bit unintuitive or you almost had to get lucky to figure it out. But I think it's all in good fun.
Yeah.
Nothing was stopping you from completing the game for sure.
Cool. Next we have target audience. Here I share the ESRB rating, which is E for everyone. But who do you think would be interested in this game?
Everyone, really, I think.
Except for Shawn.
Yeah, I know. I think it's really meant for people who are like looking for a cozy, like low key, no stress game where you can just like cuddle under a blanket and just play this game for a couple hours, and it's just fun and relaxing. It's not, you're not grinding like Children of Morta or doing all these other things. It's not crazy suspenseful. It's just chill game. So if you're looking for something like that, this is the one. So
yeah,
I think you hit the nail on the head, because I did lay under a blanket for several hours while playing this game, and I had a fantastic time, and I almost fell asleep.
Yeah.
And again, I don't mean that to mean like it's boring. I was just so relaxed and just chill. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if that sounds like what you want, get in here.
Yeah. This is so in my wheelhouse of cozy games. This is the genre that I was siloed in before we started this podcast. I think that this is very much a cozy gamer game.
Mm-hmm.
And really for all ages.
Yeah.
Just like the ESRB rating says. But truly, I think that you could be any age to play this and have a good time. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's move into the last portion of our general considerations, and that's replayability. Is this game replayable?
Nope. Not for me. No, I don't think that. I mean, there's probably some replayability if you waited a few years and wanted to play another cozy game again and came back to it. That seems like it'd be fine. For me personally, though, no, I don't think I'm going to replay it.
This was like a charming little game, and it didn't take very long. So I think like you could go back into it a couple years later, kind of like you said, Shawn, and have fun with it. I do think that it's worthwhile to like go back and try to get everything that you might have missed on while you were going through it the first time. But you can do all that in the same playthrough kind of thing and just go back. So I don't know that you need to replay it or you're going to get like high value, but if you just had a good time and you want to experience that again, you're going to get the same experience probably.
Yeah, I wrote down kind of for replayability.
Sure.
Just because I think that, if I put this game down for a while, I would be okay coming back to it, but I wouldn't say it's inherently replayable.
Yeah. It's not something I'm going to redo again right off the bat.
Yeah. Well, let's move into story and narrative, and this is where our numbered ratings start. So we rate things from 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. We're going to start out with plot. Unfortunately, I don't know if we can... I guess we maybe could rate plot. I don't know.
Why not?
I'm going to be honest, the plot was kind of like...
There wasn't one.
So it sounds like you just gave it a 1.
I this is going to be hard to say in the rating episode. I would agree. I feel like in the game, it wasn't like a linear storyline. Well, kind of, but it's not like you were getting guided through it in a sense. I don't know. Maybe you were a little bit, but it's hard to describe.
Well, the plot is you're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
You're trying to get to the end location, and you're just doing a shitload of side quests on the way there.
Yeah.
But plot-wise, I didn't think that there was really any plot other than I'm going to see TOEM.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Sure.
I think
totally.
that's it. Yeah.
So I gave it a 3, but that might be because I'm biased and I liked the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point. I mean, well, maybe instead of like in lieu of giving a rating to the plot, we can talk just a hair more about the structure of how this game was.
Sure.
Because it was essentially broken down into different like places.
Yeah.
Kind of like, the first one that you go to after the tiny intro one is like a forest area.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one, we'll get Oaklaville. Yeah, thank you. And we'll get way more into these next episode. And the second one you go to is like a beach type area.
Yep.
Stoneham.
Yeah.
And then but at each of these places you have basically a bunch of people have like tasks or chores or collectibles to get. And then once you complete enough of those, you're allowed to move on to the next area. And so you do that, that's kind of the gameplay loop as you progress through. And you guys are right. There's not really anything, no like thoroughfare. That doesn't make sense. What's the word I'm looking for? There's no thorough line between these areas besides you, the character, and you're just still trying to get to the last area.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're like siloed locations. They don't attach to each other where in other games that may happen. So I
think, but that's very of the cozy game
nature.
Mm-hmm. You're just like, well, we're just going to go with the flow.
Uh-huh.
Oh, every single person in this town needs help?
Yeah.
I'm going to help them.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to my hike lady and just jam.
It's all about DJ Moose.
Hype Moose?
Hype Moose.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
I wish I was an NPC so somebody would come do my tasks.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm willing to give plot a 3 if we were going to rate it, but we can also skip it. I think there was kind of a plot, but I don't know how you feel.
Well, I was going to rate it, but now I'm not going to.
Whoa. What were you going to rate it?
I don't even want
yeah, not good. I mean, no.
So a 1.
Yeah, I just feel like there was, in this regard, which I do agree with, there wasn't really a plot in this game, and I don't think it was really intended to have a plot in this game. So I mean, I would say I wouldn't rate it, because in my mind there wasn't really a plot to go off of.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Definitely
that's why,
wasn't the focus.
I think that's why I gave it a 3, because I was like, that's just like
Middle of the road. Yeah.
Wasn't good, wasn't bad, but I don't think it was the intention at all. So
sure.
Yeah. Well, moving on to characters now that we've passed this very controversial section. What did you guys rate the characters?
I give the characters like a 3.5, 4. Like, I like the characters. They were really fun. In the different sections, there's different characters that you interact with. They all have different things that they're worried about or doing. And so that was pretty fun, just interacting with the different characters and helping them along their way and them helping you along your way. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like a 4, but I think I'm going to say a 5. Not in any depth for any characters because everything was pretty surface level, but there's just such a variety of characters in each area. So many different funny characters throughout the game that I thought were charming and entertaining and I liked. And, they just said funny things, and there's just so much of that, so dense with these like ridiculous characters. I just really liked it.
Yeah.
There were a lot of animals too. I just loved all the animals. So I also gave it a 4. Just and I'm a sucker for like a little sim voice. Like, world building, the last part of our story and narrative section. What would you guys rate the world? I feel like this is kind of on the same vein as plot, but not. I mean, we don't. I think it deserves to be rated because there definitely was a world.
Yeah, I think a 3. Like, it was fine. There wasn't really, again, like any kind of like thing connecting these areas. They were pretty siloed. But they were good. There wasn't really anything bad about them. It was pretty like unique little world with all the animals and ghosts and random things just living and existing together, which made it fun to explore and do tasks for people. But I wasn't really feeling like, oh, this world is so cool or anything like that. So
yeah, I didn't feel like I was super, like, I would agree. It was really fun interacting with the different characters and stuff and helping them out and just seeing the world. But you know, each of those sections was relatively small, and so I didn't, and there wasn't like a narrative, or you weren't getting like a bunch of things where it was telling you like, oh, this is the world, this is this space and that space. It was just like, you landed here, okay, do your stuff. And so I'd give it like a 2 or a 2.5, I think.
Oh, sure. Yep. I gave it a 3, but for the same reason that you guys have both kind of said, like, nothing so special about it, but it was adorable.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move into our presentation portion. Still rating 1 through 5, and we're going to start with graphics.
I thought the graphics were fun for the game that you were playing. There was different things. So in the game, you have a camera. That's like your main tool. And there's different functions that you can get with your camera and different things you can do with your camera. So that was fun. And that... it was just fun to use and see through the lens. But I'd give it like a 3, I think. It was good. Sorry, I'm really just
you weren't feeling it.
Shawn, we've been waiting for you to hate or absolutely love a game, and I'm really glad that you're hating a game.
Let the hate flow through you.
Well, I'm not very good at it, so like
it's like destroying you.
You suck at hating.
I do. I'm not very good.
Like, I hate it. I'm sorry.
That's why all my games are 3.5 because I can't hate on anything. I give it a 3. I think the graphics were good. I wouldn't say it was super stellar or anything like that, but for what the game you were playing, it was fun. So they were good.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 4. I somewhat agree with you though. Like, I don't know if any part of it was stellar, but I think it was just so like, it was so charming. These like 2D character sprites on like the 3D map kind of when you're through the camera, I thought was like a really clever like visual tool.
Yeah.
And like none of the 3D stuff like looked great. It was all very like hard edges and you know, there were no textures basically in this game.
Yeah, it's all in black and white also.
Yeah, that's all in black and white.
Yeah.
It's very stylistic. And I think it has like really high charm factor, at least for me. But I do agree that's like, it's not like pushing anything to be like, oh my God, these graphics or this art is amazing. It's just super charming comic book style almost.
Yeah, I would agree.
Kids show kind of look.
Yeah, I had mine originally at a 4 and then I moved it to a 5. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you, but I just loved I loved so you're in this 3D world and you can almost turn your camera, not the camera you use as a tool, but like the
world camera.
Your world camera almost 360. And it's really important for like finding things to be able to do that. And I just loved the way that everything worked and looked. And even with your camera, you can put filters and like frames. I don't know. They did so much with the black and white, with the minimalist graphics that they went with. I thought it was amazing. I thought that it deserved a 5.
That's a really good point because they put some strong restrictions on themselves to not have color and they still made things pop and they pulled it off really well. So.
That's true. Yeah. Even just with the actions of the characters or the movements that they would do, like, that would bring some attention so you could focus on it. So,
yeah. They added a lot of energy to the game without there being color, which was cool.
That's true. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. And let's talk about sound design and music. This is the Hike Lady. We'd mentioned a Hike Lady before. It's like a Walkman, basically. And I'm just now getting Walkman Hike Lady.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm so dumb. I was like, oh, what a cool term.
The Hike Lady. It is a cool term.
Yeah.
You did almost like unlock music as you move through the world, and then you can also get little cassette tapes from characters that will add to your Hike Lady. I loved the music. Half the reason I picked this game is because I had already listened to the music. And I may have talked about it before, but I have a huge playlist of video game soundtracks that I listen to, and this is one of them. And it's just, when I'm working, it's so relaxing to listen to. It's just like, if I'm trying to do something that's stressful and I have that playing, it's perfect. It keeps me zen. But I loved it. I gave it a 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
Well, not just for the music. There's also a lot of sound design going on. Like, again, I love a footstep that makes a different noise. And there is a horn that you use.
That was so fun.
And it doesn't just make like a honking noise. It will like yell. You know what the yell sounds like?
What?
It sounds like that mummy. Remember they had like the mummy esophagus that they were like, we were able to blow air through it. And it made the sound.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hold on. I'm getting it.
I know of like, well, that's different. I'm thinking of like an Aztec like death whistle. That's what I'm thinking.
What is an Aztec death whistle?
Oh, they used to use that when they were going into combat, I think, and it like screamed really loud.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah, it's not good.
You guys just know about these weird ancient people's vocalizations.
Well, my middle schooler is going through Aztec knowledge right now. Yeah, he's learning all about it. So
he needs to come on the podcast and tell everybody.
Yeah, he'd do great. So.
Okay, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
Scientists were able to mimic Nessie Amun's voice by recreating his mouth and vocal cords with a 3D printer. It allowed them to produce a single sound.
What a great breakthrough.
So that's what he sounded like when he yelled. But every time there was like a little yell for the horn, that was what I was thinking.
There was a horn that sounded like that.
I know. It was like, ah! So anyway, goodness. I gave it a 5.
Music. I thought the music was actually really good. It was relaxing. It was, super whimsical and just kind of like going with the flow and having fun. The sound design was great for, walking or bridges closing or anything like that. There's a lot of water stuff too, especially in the second area. So you got to hear all the splashing and the seagulls and all the things. So I'd give it a 4. I thought the music was pretty good. So
yeah, I think also a 4. To be honest, I didn't really notice the music much. I think it was like too relaxing to be like completely in the background in my brain. But the sound design, the different sounds that things made was awesome.
Yeah.
You talked about the footsteps, like you can put different clothes on your guy, like different hats, different shoes, different shirts and stuff. Every shoe made a different noise. My favorite shoe, if you can call it a shoe, was just the one wet sock.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know, because they're like
yeah. I didn't even wear the tennis shoes. Even though they made you faster, they squeaked. They were so annoying. Or the sneakers or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they made your character faster, which, that's my thing, but I couldn't stand the noise. So
yeah.
But yeah, there was just so much fun things in the noises that different characters made. I really thought they did a smart job with some of like the hidden stuff or the collectibles. They had different music that would kind of play near them. So you can kind of locate them that way. We'll talk about that more next week as well. But sound design was great.
Yeah.
Well done.
Great. Well, let's move into our last section, gameplay. We're going to start with content variety. What did you guys think? Let's start with Shawn.
I want to start with Shawn.
I want to start with Shawn.
Okay. There is, so I'm trying to give this, I'm turning my chair. I'm trying to give this a good thing.
Boo.
But,
Don't turn your chair.
Get real.
I think there was, obviously there's, obviously there was a lot of variety between the different areas of like environment wise, obviously. But what the obviously, yeah.
Duh.
That's all I got. Lost my train of thought.
Mic drop.
Yeah. So there was varieties between the different locations, but I think within those locations and the quests that you had to do, some of them were different, but some of them were kind of the same. I would say I would give it a 3.5 for content variety. I would say there was a lot there, but some of the things were kind of the same. You go click on a thing, you go take it back to the guy. You go click on a thing, you go take it back to the guy. That was kind of a lot of it. So yeah.
Generous.
Yeah.
I gave it, I'm looking down. Oh my God, I thought I gave it a 5. I was like, what the hell? I gave it a 4. I don't know that I could really defend my 4 because it is a lot of the same stuff, but I think the further into the game that you got, there were some quests that were very vague. You kind of had to do, there were some quests that required not using your camera. You had to like pick up items or I don't know, use your hike lady and
put specific clothes on.
Yeah. So there was a variety in that, and then you have the different areas. Everything kind of has its own restrictions environment wise. I'm giving it a 4, but I think it might be a little biased just because I liked the game.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a tough one because I also really liked the game. But I kind of agree, Shawn, that like there wasn't really too much different stuff going on. It was mostly like, go do the thing they asked you or go to get a picture of this and bring it back to them. And even the things that were different, it didn't really like feel a lot different.
No.
So it's kind of like feeling the same way throughout, but for me, that was a happy feeling. So I think I might just leave it at a 3. I will say that in the post game, as in like after you beat the game, that free DLC, they do have some extra mechanics that they introduce. That's a little bit more interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like it's really like different enough to like change your score on this because you didn't experience that stuff after the game. No. Okay.
I was very done when it said the end.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Threw your phone.
No. But it was kind of like, okay, we're done now.
I've been there.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, let's talk about mechanics, and then we'll talk about the value. I gave the mechanics a 5. I'm a little loose with my 5s today.
Man.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I don't know. I just thought it was smooth. I liked what they did with the camera angles, and there was puzzle solving that required that you kind of like look at things differently. You had a tripod. We haven't talked about the tripod yet.
True.
Yeah, the tripod is used.
Yeah, the
quite a
tripod
bit.
mechanic where you need to set up your camera and hide, or you have to set up your camera so you can take a picture of yourself. But you also could take selfies.
Yep.
I don't know.
Dang.
I just loved this game.
Maybe there was more content variety. You're right. It's like this game was super fun in that there wasn't really a lot going on, I would say, but it did kind of introduce some more things to you as you went. And it was all just so smooth and easy.
Yeah.
Nothing was a pain. It's just a good time, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say even though I have some different feelings about the game, the mechanics were still good. Like I didn't have any issues. There was no hiccups. The game ran smooth. The mechanics with the camera were pretty well done.
Yeah, it's cool.
And yeah, it was really cool and a unique way to play that game. So yeah, I give it a 4. I think it was good. Cool.
Yeah, I think I'm at 4 as well.
Sweet. Well, let's just talk about the value before we unveil our final ratings. Is this game worth $19.99 unless you're playing it on PlayStation? Then it's $22.99.
No. No, I think no. Gameplay aside, if I picked up a 5-hour game for $20, that's pretty expensive in my opinion for that amount. And especially the fact that even though there was, fun things in the game, it was a lot of the same thing for the entire game. And it's like, that's kind of, I don't know. I don't think it's worth $20 in my opinion, or $23 in my opinion. So that's me. If you caught it for $10 or less, I think that'd be sweet. I think we caught it on sale. So during the spring sale. So I think it was only a couple bucks. So at that price point, yeah, all day. But at $20, no, sir.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think this is my least favorite thing to talk about because I feel like I'm so inconsistent with how I do things. I'm going to say, I don't know. Catch this one on a sale. I agree. I feel like $20 is steep, but I might be okay with that. Frankly, I did have a really good time with this game.
Yeah.
And I have not gotten like all the collectibles or finished every task. So I do want to go back and finish it. But it does feel steep. It is a short one.
Yeah.
And there's not like a crazy amount going on, and I probably won't replay it. So I don't know. Get it on a sale probably.
Yeah, I mean, without the post game stuff, you're 3.75 hours. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, that's steep for $20. And unless it's like really enticing and like really, I think for me, it really needed to hook me and capture me.
Yeah.
And it didn't do that. And that's why I'm like, ugh.
Totally.
Like, I didn't get that hook like we have in other games.
Yeah.
That are the same length.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm the opposite. I think there have been 4-hour games that we've rated that I've been like, wow, I really liked this game. But for like $20, that's a bit steep. I would totally pay $20 for this. I don't know what it is about this game, even though it was really short. I think I just took so much time exploring each area and kind of running around. I was really focused on taking pictures of every single animal.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah,
me
too.
Love it.
There's a bunch of different creatures, and if you take a picture of a creature, it saves it in a separate album. And so I don't know. I at $20, I'm totally down for it. $19.99, I'll pay it. Even though I did get it on a sale. So let's just give our final ratings and then we'll close out here. I can start if you guys want. Or Rylan, you looked ready to go.
I was ready to go. I put my hand up like to the side, like I don't know what that means, but
go for it.
I think I'm probably in between your guys' score is my guess. I really enjoyed my time with this game. I'm gonna put it at a 3.9.
Wow. All right. Very cool.
All right.
Very cool.
Shawn. No. Actually, let me go. We'll let you close out.
Sure.
I gave it a 4.1.
Whoa.
I was on the fence about if I wanted to stay in the 3s or the 4s, but I am so excited to play the second one. And I don't know. I felt, again, this is my wheelhouse. These are my favorite types of games. So I'm throwing it at 4.1.
Cool. I think I'm going to go with 2.5. The music was good, the characters were fun, but it's not a game for me. So
hated the game.
Yeah, I found it really hard to get through. Like I felt, especially, I feel like because the last few games have been very like actiony and like we're moving and stuff, and then it was like a way slow down, which was probably a good thing, honestly. But I'm very much of like, let's do it, and so I felt kind of, I don't know, bored a little bit. Like I felt like I was kind of doing the same thing over and over. So 2.5 for me.
That's so weird that you didn't feel that way about Figment, though.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe it was just the character interaction or something, or the voice acting that kept me in, or something like that. I really enjoyed that and the musical aspect of it. But this one, just like walking around taking pictures, I was like, meh.
I feel like Figment was very high energy.
Yeah.
And TOEM was very low, like mellow energy, even though they both kind of had the same, I don't know, blandness. That is not how I wanted that to come out.
Nope.
Yeah.
I don't know. You are kind of doing the same thing over and over and over again, but TOEM was like, chill, man, and then Figment was like, ah!
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. And tell them that even after you've been playing for like an hour, a little thing came up and says like, hey, you've been playing an hour, like just in case you want to take a break. Yeah.
I never played more than an hour each session.
So yeah, I think I played about an hour each session, so I saw that quite a few times. But it definitely had that vibe of like, oh, just, play it a little bit. I don't think it was trying to like hook you, maybe like you're saying, Shawn.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely does seem like a game that you kind of just pick up, play for a half hour, and then you set it down, and then you're good for a while, and you come back to it.
Yeah.
I think I may have a different perspective if we would have taken longer. I think with the crunch, even the 2 weeks, even with a 4-hour game, it really shouldn't be that long, honestly.
You're a busy guy.
Yeah.
I think you didn't, it wasn't your game.
It just was, it just wasn't for me.
Totally.
So Rylan has definitely gone through that where you had to like force yourself through a game, and it's like torture.
Yeah, it's just kind of the nature of the business.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're playing
biz.
all different types of games, and yeah, I mean, there's going to be some that just fall flat for one of us for a reason or another.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Well, this concludes the rating episode for TOEM. Please join us next week for the discussion episode as we dive into the details of this game and all its hidden gems. If you haven't played the game yet and this sounds like something you may be interested in, I hope you find time to play it before tuning in next week. Please go and give the podcast a follow, rate it, review it, however you want to show us love. You can email us with any comments, questions, or constructive criticism at letmebeyourgg@gmail.com. You can also send us game requests if there's something you'd like us to review. Just make sure you put game request in the subject line so it's easy for us to find. You can find us on most socials as Let Me Be Your GG. That's LetMeBeyourGG, no spaces. And we're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You can find us on TikTok as Let Me Be Your Game Guide with no spaces. Our Patreon can be found at patreon.com/LetMeBeYourGG. Thank you so much for listening. We can't wait to see you next week. And thank you so much for letting me be your game guide. GG, y'all.
Bye.
Iterate on what we're saying. Iterate. Idiot. Yeah, I think it's like a... Who is that?
I'm going to elbow those dogs.
Is that your neighbor's dogs?
Yep.
Oh, elbow those dogs?
Bam, bam, bam.
Oh my God.
Take them out.
Violence. You are fired up about this game.
Yeah,
it's changed, Shawn.
Yeah.
It's changed.
I see another side of him.
Yeah.
You're between me and the door. I don't know what to do.
Better watch out, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
You're gonna hurt your elbow.
I will. Yeah.
It sounds like it hurts. Like, I can't do it
I'm gonna get
anymore.
a text from you tomorrow. My elbow hurts, dude.